quoted saying, she would have saved more slaves if they knew that they were slaves. Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American Supreme Court justice. Marshall played a crucial role in the legal battle against racial segregation, including the landmark case of Brown versus Board of Education. Shirley Chisholm, who was a trailblazer in politics and later became the first African-American woman to run for a major party's presidential nomination. We have some strong shoulders we are standing on. We have black folks who led in the civil rights movement during a time when their homes and churches were being bombed, businesses being burned, and family members being lynched just for requesting fair rights and equality. It brings tears to my eyes to think that now many are forfeiting these rights, that so many died for, shed blood for, and tears and sweat just for us to have rights that they would not experience on their own. It hurts my heart when black people refuse to vote, suggesting that their vote doesn't matter, when freedom riders and buses were killed and bombed for helping people register to vote, and now we're not challenged with this at all. I don't care if Mickey Mouse versus Donald Duck is on the ballot, I'm going to vote. I wish I had a witness here. It is beyond me. It's beyond me and my understanding today that so many have decided to settle for the little crumbs that has been given to us and not attempt to achieve more when people had nothing but tried their best to become the greatest in every area of life. They became lawyers and doctors and business owners. And now if we ask our kids what they want to be when they grow up, all they know is the entertainment business of the NBA, the NFL, or being a rapper. It even pains me that most black Christian leaders paved the way for our freedoms. But now so many suggest that they don't need the church, when the church was the place that educated our children in the history of our people. The church was the hub for the meetings and the financial support for the civil rights movement. The church was the business incubator for entrepreneurs. The church is where the first historical black college was formed, in the basement of an AME church. And thank God for the leaders in the churches who assisted in helping black Americans achieve their goals and their dreams here in this country. And because of this, I am convinced that more than ever before, the church's voice must be louder than any other voice. And if the church forgets that it stands on the shoulders of slave preachers who did not know how to read but had the Holy Ghost that helped them interpret the Bible and give slaves hope in the midst of brutality and torture. Thank God for churches who were established in bush or hush harbors in the middle of the woods with no building, no instrument. All they had was foot stomping and hand clapping, worshiping God in open space. Let us remember the church that sold chicken dinners and fish and spaghetti plates to help the least and the less fortunate. Let us not forget the pastors who had to stand in the pulpit and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ on Sunday mornings, but march in the streets for equality throughout the week. I am thankful for the black church that has elevated the black community, but has now been forsaken because many have forgotten the history of our leaders and the value of our faith. We are here today because of the shoulders in which we stand on. So the question might be asked, why is it important to know whose shoulders we're standing on? Why is that important to know? We need to know whose shoulders we're standing on because their faith strengthens our faith. Their faith strengthens our faith. Hebrews chapter 11 is considered the Hall of Fame of faith. The writer of Hebrews defines what faith is. It is the substance of things hoped for, and it is the evidence of things not seen. In that 11th chapter, the writer begins to give vivid examples of what faith looks like in action. By faith, the world was formed by the commands of God. By faith, Abel offered up a sacrifice. By faith, Enoch walked with the Lord. By faith, Noah built the ark when he had never seen rain. The writer informs us miracles happen because of faith. I wish I had a witness here that could testify that it's because of faith I'm here right now. Because matter of fact, it could have been the other way. Matter of fact, it should have been the other way. But because I kept the faith, God allowed me to be here right now. The writer suggests that these witnesses who have already run the race of life won because of faith. So he tells us, since we have this great cloud of witnesses, let us run our own race. These witnesses are not supernatural beings. They're not angels in heaven, but these witnesses were flesh and blood like you and me. But grace exceedingly abounded in their lives. And because they kept the faith, because they fought the good fight, and because they finished the race, they can now stand on the sideline as witnesses. I wish I had a witness here. The writer notifies us that when we step on the track of life, we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses. A witness is one who has information or knowledge of something and consequently can bring to light or confirm something. The witnesses in the text can confirm that the Lord is good. I wish I had a witness here so they can tell us, don't be discouraged on the track of life because you're not the only one they talked about. You're not the only one people has misused. You're not the only one that people has scandalized their name. You're not the only one that people hated or experienced some type of loss. But thank be to God, we have some witnesses that can testify about God's amazing grace. Congressman John Lewis can testify, a civil rights leader who was key figure in the fight for the voting rights and equality. Ruby Bridges can testify for being the first black child to attend an all-white school in the South. Ruby symbolizes the struggle against racial segregation and integration of schools, but she also shows us how to be fierce with tenacity and fortitude in the face of people who hate you. Madam C.J. Walker can testify about the goodness of God because she was one of the first self-made African-American female millionaires in the United States and a pioneer in the field of hair care and beauty for black people, not the people we see in our stores now. Woo! We have allowed too many people to get rich off what we need. We have witnesses. And since we have witnesses, we are to run this race that is set before us. So the question is, why is it important to know whose shoulders we're standing on? It's because their faith strengthens our faith, but also because their pride should make us proud. Their pride should make us proud. We are to run this race of life because of the crowd that is watching us run. When we know we have a supportive audience, it makes us perform just a little bit better. Wish I had a witness here. When you know someone that you admire is watching you, you perform just a little bit better. When you know your mama or your daddy are in the stands, when you're performing on the field or on the stage, it makes you feel a little more comfort, but it makes you also a little bit bold because you understand if nobody else cheers for me, I wish I had a witness, I got somebody out there who is here just for me. I don't know, I like it when I travel. I don't care if my mama with me, I don't need no other amens. I wish I had a witness because my mama gonna let y'all know that's my son, because all you gonna hear is preach, son, and that's all right with me because I know I got somebody on my team, and because of her pride, I'm proud. Yeah. You see, pride is a powerful emotion. Proverbs 16 and 18 suggests that pride comes before destruction. But this emotion has negative and positive ways of being expressed. Pride can lead to arrogance when you think you are better than everyone else and look down on others because they don't look like you. Pride can make you resistant to change because you may assume that your way is the only way. Pride can lead to prejudice because you discriminate against others because they are not like you. But pride can also be a positive where it allows you to have high self-esteem. Because when you believe in yourself, you will take pride in what you're doing. Pride also allows you to celebrate your accomplishments and not allow you to be satisfied with what's in front of you and then try to achieve more. Pride will have you taking care of your little that you have and being thankful that God given you something. I wish I had a witness here. I wish I had a witness say, I may not have a Benz, but I got a car to get me from A to B. And just because I don't have a Benz don't mean my car has to be dirty and nasty. Yeah, I'm going to take it through the drive-thru, get it washed anytime I can, because this is something that God has given me and I'm proud of it. You know, people, they try to demean what you have when they put "little" on the front of it. We'll see you with your little car. We'll see you with your little house. See you got your little boyfriend, your little girlfriend. They try to demean the value of what you had. Yeah, it's little, but it's mine. I wish I had a witness here. It's little, but God gave it to me, and I'm going to take care of what I have right now until God gives me something better. The writer says, since we have the crowd watching us, remove the things that will cause us to fall while we run this race, but run this race with endurance. We are to resist pride in a negative sense and take off everything that hinders us from running the race God has placed before us. And I'm certain, my brothers and sisters, that there is a such thing as systemic racism in this country. There are systems that have been created to continue to ensnare and keep black people oppressed from running this race effectively. The criminal justice system arrests, sentences, and incarcerates blacks and Hispanics at a higher rate than our white brothers and sisters. Each time I visit the juvenile detention center, the majority of the kids are black young boys. And this happens because of racial profiling and the over-policing of our communities. The housing system is littered with systemic racism. It was a time when the federal government led programs that labeled certain areas in the city as dangerous and secluded those areas of living for black folks, and on maps they used red markers that outline where black people can live and where they cannot live. But thank God for the giant of Dr. Martin Luther King, who fought for fair housing and was against housing discrimination, that allowed the signing of the Fair Housing Act in 1968. But now to this day, even as late as 2015 and 16, banks were sued because they were not giving black people loans, or they were giving us loans at higher interest rates than other people, attempting to create a wider gap between the wealthy and the poor. Yes, there are systems designed to cause us to fall, but we need to have enough pride not to fall into these systems. I wish I had a witness. We need to have enough intellectual ability and fortitude to say, no matter what you put in front of me, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on pushing. I'm going to keep on trying. You may deny me right now, but you're going to have to say yes one of these times. Is there anybody in here that could testify, I got to get what God wants from me? I can't settle for what I'm going through, but I need God's grace on my life. We are to run this race with endurance. This means no matter what happens in your life, keep on running. Yes, yeah. Run with endurance means that life is not a sprint, but it's a long distance race. Somebody in here may say, I want to go back to school, but I don't have a degree. Get your GED. And after you get your GED, go over to MATC and get your associate's degree. And if you don't like an associate's degree, get you a trade or a license